Hey everyone, welcome to Three Crosses Farrier Company. I'm Caleb and we're going to be walking you through trimming the left hind foot on a draft horse today. I get a comment almost once every video, maybe a little less than that, but about using my hoof knife to pick out the horse's hoof. My hoof knife is a JH Forge short blade, and if you look real close, you'll notice that it has a built-in hoof pick on the knife itself.
Oh, no, I haven't.
So I'm not dulling my knife. I'm literally using it, the back side of it that has a built-in hoof pick.
I've seen like the tile on Netflix.
Now, one thing about these draft horses is, as you can see, the hoof is absolutely massive. Now, the part I'm working on here is the commissure. The commissure is the valley between the sole and the frog. Now, I always go to my nippers when I'm working on these big horses because it saves a little time and it's easier on my body. It's also easier on her body because the longer I have her in this position, it's not a particularly comfortable position to have her foot like this. It's not as natural. So we're going to try to get her done as soon as possible in a timely manner so she can go back to doing what she loves best, which is eating grass. Now, you'll see I'm taking out the bars here with my nippers. They grow so much. In fact, we are probably going to do this horse again here in about 3-4 weeks. So we'll have another video of this horse. Again, look at all that flaky material. That's all dead hoof wall that we're just peeling right out of there. It's one of the most satisfying parts of my job. Also, I keep my knives very sharp. It's easier on your wrists, easy on your elbows if your tools are sharp. Gonna clean that frog up, cut it out. Now, on some horses, I'm not as aggressive with the frog. On these draft horses, they have a ton of extra frog. And it actually grows over and covers the commissures, which then traps dirt and bacteria in the commissure and creates a whole nother plethora of problems. One of the things I have not talked about in many of my videos is the hoof jack that I'm using here. This is a Hoofit jack, and I love the top cradle because it has a post where I can set the foot and a cradle where I can have the foot in this position. So when I swing it forward, I can have it on the post, and when I have it pulled back like this, it can rest in that cradle. Traditionally, I've used other types of hoof jacks, and they don't have that option. You actually have to switch them out, which takes time, and it's just nice not to have to switch them out. This is the center sulcus is what we're working on here. It's the center of the frog. And now we're going to run our nippers around. When I nip a horse, I try to keep my nippers flat, and I try to run a flat nip line. So I try not to gouge the hoof. I'm trying to run my nippers in a straight line from the toe all the way to the heel. Now, you'll notice that when I trim these heels, where the heel is set now and where I'm going to trim it to is going to bring that heel back almost a half an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch, and that makes the foot more functional. As a horse grows, it doesn't grow down, like straight down, it grows forward. So it grows down and then forward. And with these big drafts, they have an insane amount of flare. So as they're growing down, they tend to widen that foot out. And I just think it's so cool when you pull it off. It looks like it's a horseshoe made out of hoof. Now, you'll notice when you look here, I'm going to do a little bit more knife work, but as you look, she's getting a little impatient, so we're going to start over again. So you're going to look here, and I'm taking out a little bit more bar, but if you see that, just that little bitty line, the line that's not quite white, but it's kind of dark all the way around, that's your lamini wall. The part that I'm trimming on here is the hoof wall. This would be the same material as your fingernail, so the horse doesn't feel anything here. People ask all the time, does this hurt the horse? It does not hurt the horse. we are trimming only dead tissue. We are not trimming live tissue. Again, we're taking flare. This does not weaken the hoof wall. It does not cause problems. These draft horses have an insane amount of flare. If you do not address that flare, the foot will begin to run away. Base is what we call it when we shoe horses. It's called the hoof runs away. And it will become more and more and more flared until the horse is in pain. It causes strain on the tendons. So we want to bring that foot back under control and get it in its natural shape.
Okay.
Again, gonna run my knife just a little bit more, finish that up. I think this is one of the coolest things because we're sitting here, just look at how beautiful white that is.
Yeah, no,
So again, we're gonna wrap the feathers out of my way. Guy asked last time why I didn't do it for the bottom of the hoof, and that's because they're not in my way there. But they're definitely in my way when I swing the foot forward. And you'll see that I'm using that post on the hoof jack there.
And then you try to reuse it and never.
yeah,
A lot of people have come out and said that I could do this better, that I could have something other than plastic, use something more friendly to the environment. This is what I have on the truck. Trying to remember to bring other materials along just for a draft horse is definitely a tough deal.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
I also like that it comes in handy.
Again, we're going to take off a little bit more flare.
You know, that tells you how stupid I am. I've had this thing.
I do use the nipper in this case. I don't normally do this with horses that are normal size, but they have a ton of hoof wall. Now, the rasp that I'm using here has two sides. It has a soft side and a hard side. The hard side is more aggressive and takes off more foot. The soft side is mostly for finish work and will take off less at a time and makes a little bit prettier. When we finish a foot, we don't want to leave rasp marks, so we use the soft side. So we'll usually, if we got a bunch of work to do, we use the hard side. And then when we want to kind of finish up, make sure it's all clean and pretty, we'll grab the soft side and finish it up with that. And we're going to cut it off, cut off the saran wrap, and get it all cleaned up. And that should about do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. And let us know what you want to see in future content.